I'm turning 40 on December 7th, and I'm slowly realizing that people are stupid. Like, seriously. Context is needed, so here we go. Let's do this. I am just coming back from one of my friends' places, and we had just left something that was the dumbest thing ever. I have to start at the very beginning for the story so that you guys can understand. Years ago, I dated a girl a long time ago. She was a person who I was in love with. I was head over heels in love with this person. Quite literally, she was the first girlfriend, real girlfriend that I've ever had in my life. So we were dating, we were doing, the things or whatever. We were kind of on again, off again. I think she was like 10 years older than me, I think. I can't remember. But yeah. Yeah, she had age on me. But we were doing what we could have. On the other hand, I had this guy who was a friend of mine, okay? I will not call any names because as much as I want to, I have to try and be the respectful person still, even though I'm upset. So I had this guy who was a friend of mine. Let's just call him Phil for the sake of clarity. Phil is like a cool guy. When I first met him, he used to do magic the same way that I did. He had a car. I did not have a car. He had a car that was a Mercedes. I didn't have any car because I was just coming out of high school, like trying to find work and whatever. I just come from New York, learning web design, and then that was a bust. That didn't work out. So yeah, I'm back home now in Nassau. But hey, I have this girlfriend and I'm trying to make things work. She and I break up. She breaks up with me, and then when she does break up with me, she goes out with him. So her and Phil are now dating each other. And I'm like furious at this fact because I'm furious at her for doing that. And I'm furious at him for like, doing it. But he, being the type of person he is taking the all's fair and love and war stance. And I'm like, I'm a young kid. I'm mad and I doing some off the wall shit. I won't lie. When I was a kid and if I was like in love with you, I did some really toxic shit. Like and this is the one time I know that I've done this. I hacked both of their emails and I sent them emails to each other as if that they were the other person talking to them, saying, "Oh, I don't want to be with you no more," or whatever. And guess what? I can own up to that because I've moved past that shit. I'm like I'm turning 40. Like I don't care about that shit. I've moved on past that. But needless to say, I did some shit because I was upset. I was a young kid who was upset that his girlfriend left and was going with the person who was supposed to be his friend or whatever. So I was like, all right. Needless to say, I cut the two of them off because of that. She is dead now. I'm going to let that sink in for a bit. She died last year, okay? So I didn't care enough to go to a funeral. I won't lie to you because I had made my peace with whatever was going on in myself. And by this time, I had moved on. I had done a whole lot more with my life, dated other people, been around the block a few times, like, done my own thing. I made a career out of being a magician and a balloon artist now. I moved on with my life. You know what I'm saying? But I remember there were portions of time where I realized that I was angry at her and him. And I realized, especially after going to therapy, that, all of this was stupid. You know what I'm saying? And I was just holding on to something that I didn't need to hold on to anymore. And I moved on with my life. That was the end of that. But I digress. They stick a pin in that. We have to go to this other part of the story. This is where everything comes full circle. So everyone knows, especially you guys who follow me on all the social medias, that I have been learning to play guitar since the pandemic started. And I love doing it. I have fun with it. It's like I have my history with playing like music because I used to be in a marching band a long time ago. I just miss music. So I was like, hey, there's nothing going on aside. I started the stream during the pandemic. I started a lot of things and then I started playing guitar, So that's one of the things that was really like that I find that I do for fun, and I think it's a really cool thing to do. While I've been playing though, I hear from my friends who are also guitarists. They tell me about this jam that happens at this person's house, and I'm like, oh, okay. And ever since I started hearing from them, I started hearing from other people about this place that was so cool and it was good for musicians to come there and do whatever they wanted to do. And I was like, ah, that sounds cool. I would really like to go there one time. So let's fast forward to last month. So last month, apparently the person who started the jam, he started up again because he had stopped since COVID had started. And I wanted to go. So I was like, oh, cool. I could finally get to go. So I, get ready and all this stuff. I'm packing up my guitar and whatever, getting ready to find this place. Got locations from the guy who told me about the place. He was there. So I was like, all right, cool. So when I get there, before I get there, actually, I get a message from him because apparently Phil is there. So I'm like, oh shit. Okay. So now in my head, I'm thinking years have passed. There's no way that he's still on that right now. You know what I'm saying? On top of which, the woman is dead now. I'm sorry to say it like that, but that's just the cold, hard truth. She's dead now. So I understand that people can grieve, and I understand the grieving process. So I can at least be sympathetic towards that. You know what I'm saying? On top of which, I bear no ill will to this man or whatever was going on with the two of them. I don't care about any of that stuff. Because as far as I'm concerned, I only want to go and play guitar with other people who play guitar. So I go. And before I go, though, I speak to my best friend. And I call him and I'm like, hey, because he knows Phil. So I'm like, hey, such and such is going to be there. He's like, oh, really? Oh, well, I mean, you shouldn't let that stop you. So you should still go and have a good time. And if he has feelings about that, then that's on him. I'm like, agreed. I agree with that. So I went. And sure enough, he was there. But didn't hear any a peep from him. I didn't speak to him. He didn't speak to me. I had a grand old time. But apparently, he left. He left early. So that part is important. He left early. I just thought he had to leave to go and do stuff or whatever. I didn't watch anything, but because I was too busy having fun jamming with the people who were there. So I was there. Some of my other friends were there who are in really reputable rock bands over here in the Bahamas. I have a great time, and I'm like, hey, can't wait to do it again. I would love to do this again because this was fun. This was awesome. And everyone's like, yeah, man, you're really good. Like, I know you're learning, but you're doing pretty good. I'm like, thank you very much. So we go, and the next time for it to come to start up again rolls around, right? So we get the message saying that everything's going on or whatever. So here's where things get weird. So I go the next night, right? And the next night, when I get there, I'm going in the back to pour myself a drink because I got my little cup. I make my own things. Shout out to I have to remember her name. Shout out to that. I am going to link her at the bottom of this video because there has to be some happiness involved with this shit. She lives in in Maryland. I don't know exactly what part of Maryland she lives in, but she makes these, and she'll put whatever design you want. I got Grateful Dead because I love the Grateful Dead. I got this. She will put whatever you want in it, and she's really cheap. So if you live out in Maryland, I endorse this woman. I can remember her name. Not now, but I can link it at the description of this video. I promise. All right, y'all go down there and check it out. So I got my little cup. I get in the back because he got a little bar in the back there where you could make yourself a drink. I always have this in the car when I go to the bar or something. So I go in the back there, and as I'm making myself a drink, the guy who's in charge of the place walks up to me and he's like, "Hey, I heard that you and Phil are having some kind of beef with each other, or y'all have some sort of history." I'm like, well, I don't have any beef with him. We did have history, yes, but I mean, that happened years ago. I don't know what there could still be to have. I don't care about anything. It's whatever. So the guy tells me, he's like, oh, apparently, he told me that, y'all two have some history together, and, he felt so distraught about you being here the last time you were here that he had to leave early. And in my mind, I'm trying to process what he's saying. I'm like, okay. And he's like, so, I mean, he's been coming here longer than you have, or longer than anyone. He's been here from the beginning, and, he's a really good friend of mine or whatever. So I'm going to have to ask that you don't come to these things anymore. because I don't want there to be any like bad blood or any bad vibes or anything like that. I'm taken aback by this. I'm like, yo, what? Why? Like, what? Okay, so hold on. So I'm like, okay, so hold on, wait. You did not just hear that I don't have any beef with this guy, but you still don't want me to come. He's like, listen, I don't want to get involved in it. All I know is that like if y'all two could hash that out or whatever, then it'll be whatever. So I'm like, all right, cool. Anyone who knows me knows that I don't wait for anything. Like that, like I do wait for things, but sometimes, especially in certain situations, I like to nip things in the bud right away. So he was there in the front while this was going on, and I waited for him to stop playing what he was playing on his guitar. He puts his guitar down. I walk in and I'm like, "Hey, do you have a minute? Can me and you talk?" The dude tells me to fuck off. Phil tells me to fuck off. I'm like, "Wow, that's it's extremely mature, you, but everything cool." So I'm like, all right. So I tell my other friends this who are sitting outside, the ones in the rock bands or whatever, and they're like, "Wait, why? Like, what is going on?" On top of which, they even know the situation. They know the situation that happened between me, him, and Homegirl. And I'm like, yo, this is dumb. Like, this is dumb. Like, it's really dumb. I have no idea what's going on. This is stupid. This really is stupid. But hey, you know what? It's whatever. We stay there that night, and we stay there, and then we all go our separate ways. And I'm like, okay, so I don't know what to do now. So my friends are there, and they say, listen, the next time he's having the jam, just come. Because chances are he may have been like drunk, or he may have been under some kind of something or whatever, or you never know, like, but whatever it is. But the jam isn't supposed to be about any kind of beef between anybody. The jam is supposed to be for, if you playing guitar, you come there and play guitar, and you leave that shit outside, which I agree with. I agree with that shit 100%. I'm like, all right, cool. Through the week, I decided to still try and reach out to Phil and talk to him, because I'm seem to be the only mature person acting like an adult here. I found his number and I messaged him. I sent him a very brief message. It was initially long, but I dumbed it down. The dude blocks me immediately, and I'm like, okay, this is weird. This is too weird. Like, what is really good with this dude right now? So I messaged the guy in charge, like, and I show him, I was like, yo, I've been trying to reach out to this guy. He hasn't, like, hit me up or anything. Like, he blocked me when I tried to hit him up. And I told him, I was like, hey, I've been trying to reach out to him. He's not talking to me. I don't know what to do. I don't want to be gate kept from playing in the jam or whatever. This doesn't make any sense. So is there any way we could reconcile this and I could still come? The guy's like, oh, well, I'll message you tomorrow. I'm laying down right now, and everything will be everything. It's whatever. So I was like, all right, cool. The guy never messages me. And I'm like, okay. I take that to mean, because for me, no answer is not an answer. Not answering is not an answer. That's passive aggressive as fuck. I don't believe any of that shit. Like, I have friends that used to get mad at me when I did that shit. Okay, I don't believe in that now. Like, I understand what they meant by that, and you know, after having seen that, I was like, okay, this is stupid. I don't know what to do. Now we come full circle to tonight. So here's what went down. I went to the jam against my better judgment, because I kind of didn't want to, but at the same time, I wanted to get this over with. Everybody was there. My two friends were there, and of course, Phil was there too. We walk in, and my two friends are in because he has a little studio set up or whatever. So we walk in, and he's like asking me what my name was, as if he forgot what my name was. I'll give it to him. The guy is old, okay? He's an old man, okay? So he's like, I give him my name, and he's like, oh. So he walks over to Phil, and I overhear him say, and I wish this was a joke, I overhear him say, this Nemesis? I was like, Nemesis? What the fuck? Are you serious right now, dude? Fuck me, right? I'm someone's nemesis, apparently. So this guy goes in the back and says some other shit. So I'm like, all right. So like Phil, I'm talking about. He goes in the back and it's whatever. So now, dude comes up to me and he's like, oh well, I'm gonna have to actually leave because I still didn't want you to come, because that's why I didn't. And he says this. like I didn't answer you when you messaged me because like that was supposed to be your answer to like to understand that you was not supposed to come. I was like, no answer is not an answer. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And then when my friend who was in the room when this was going on, he was trying to back me up and all of this. He tells him that he's like, no, fuck you. This is my place. This is my. I was like, oh, okay, I got you. I understand. This is how it is then. All right, cool. So I like, listen, I'm gonna tell you to your face, you are a coward for not messaging me and telling me that I can't come. No answer is not an answer. And I know you're old and you're set in your passive aggressive ways, but that's not the way men handle things. That's not the way you're supposed to handle things with anyone. As soon as he tells my friend like to like fuck him or whatever, he packs up his shit and leaves, and my other friend packs up his shit and he's like, "Come, Eddie, we're out of here. We're fucking out of here. Fuck this." So I'm like, "Oh shit, all right." So we leave and we just go back to his place. But as we're walking to our cars, one of the guys who comes in and play drums, he's like, "Dude, what's going on? Like, what happened?" I was like, "Dude, don't want to talk about it. I don't know how else to deal with this situation." Now, I do know how else to deal with this situation. I'm not gonna fuck with it anymore. I'm done with it. But I want to make sure that, like, if I was right in any of this, because I mean, I kind of give myself a little bit wrong. But everyone who I told about this said that I should have gone, and I was justified to try to go to see what was going on. So I guess it is what it is, and I guess things will change or whatever. So that's neither here nor there right now. But I don't know. I'm asking you guys, what do you guys think about this? Because this is the dumbest thing ever. Like, it's stupid, and there's no other thing for me to say other than it is stupid. I'm being the more mature adult and trying to talk and hash this out and be as real, like really like forward with this. You know what I'm saying? And this guy is acting like a child and not wanting to talk to me. And here's the thing. Here's what I will say. I understand the grieving process. I do. I know that as bad as the situation was, he loved that woman. I won't lie. He did. But I know he is grieving. I know he is. And I will never tell anyone to get over anything. I know I will never tell anyone that. Like, people take their own time to grieve. What I will give him wrong for is him using that grief to gatekeep me from something that I enjoy. Like, to gatekeep me from playing music because his friend runs the jam. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make any sense to me at all. Here's what I will tell him, and I hope he watches this video. I really do. As upset as I am with him, this is nothing to me. Like, I could be real with you. Like, yes, it's hurt. I can't jam with anyone anymore, but with them anymore. But I have other friends who I could do this stuff with. I really just wanted to come to this because this was the place to be. I want the jam to succeed, but I don't know if it's going to. If it's going to be a situation where if one person talks bad to my friend or my friend has a problem with this one person, they can't come. That's the dumbest thing. That's not what a jam is supposed to be for. But, you know, that's not something I address to you. I'm still open to talking to you. But at the same time, right now, the fact that you consider me your nemesis, Jesus Christ. My God. I've never... This makes me understand that quote that I saw a long time ago. Like there's something along the lines of, there are some people who watch you from a distance, not to like cheer you on, but to be jealous of like what you have, or something along those lines. I don't have nothing like that. I mean, shit. The most I've done with my life is move on. I have moved on from whatever it was we had. I never bothered with it again. I have a successful career. I have seen people in my life. I have done things in my life. I still do things in my life. I good. Like, I really am good. And listen, if you want to keep being like that, then go right ahead and do that shit. I straight. It's whatever. If that's how you want to be, if you don't want to be a mature adult, and here's another thing that bugs me about this. When I did the shit to them too, right? He was the one being like this to me. You know what I'm saying? And I had to face the music. He was the one to come to me and hit me up and say, hey, we need to talk. We need to talk now. Because, well, you know, whatever. And this ain't right. And he came to me. And I faced the music. Like, I was like, all right. I was mad with him. I was fucking furious. But you know what? It is what it is. Now I'm coming to him about something. And he's just cowering away. There is no other way for me to say this without making it sound like bad. Like, I can't sugarcoat it. I can't find any other words to say it to make it sound more palatable to everyone. He's being a coward right now, and I really wish that he would not. I wish that he would talk to me, because it doesn't make any sense of him being upset with me over stuff that happened eons ago. But I digress. It is what it is. To the guy who runs the jam, I will say this. Just as I said before, you messed up. And I'm going to tell you why you messed up. Because jams are not for petty stuff like this. All this bullshit that you think was going on. Because, I mean, even when I was at the first jam, I caused no trouble. I made no, moves on anybody. I said nothing to anyone. Well, no, I spoke to people. But I saw he was there. It didn't bother me at all that he was there. I didn't say anything to him or whatever. I don't care. But what you did tonight was cowardly. I'm sorry. And the fact that you have this dude calling me his nemesis is ridiculous. Ridiculous. And I'm sorry. I hope your jam goes good. I really do. And I am not wishing you ill will on your jam. However, you do have to understand that you messed up doing what you did, because now people who were there saw that and they came to us and asked us what happened, and they understand that this is something that's terribly wrong to do. They see that now. So I hope you're happy with the decision you made. I really hope you are. And I hope it works out for you. I really do. I am not saying this in jest. I really do hope, because again, I like the idea that music is something that can be shared for all people, and I think something like what you're doing is great. You made a terrible mistake tonight doing what you did. That's all I'm gonna say. Now, granted, I am not without any blame in this. I could have very well not gone and listened to the voice of reason or whatever. But you know what? I took it upon myself to go, and it is what it is. I made a decision. I got the result of that decision, and I can live with what happened. I can, because I'm mature enough to do that. So if there's anyone wants to say anything to me, the comment section is right there. If anyone knows who I'm talking about, and I know that there are people who do know who I'm talking about, if you guys know who I'm talking about, I implore you, send him this video. He might not want to see it or whatever, but send him the video. But just let me know. Am I wrong? Or I don't know what the situation is. It's not going to stop me from playing guitar. And I'm sure I will find a lot of other people to want to play guitar with me. That's no problem. Even if I have to do show online. I was just doing this because a lot of my friends who play guitar, they rarely have the time to. And that's fine, because we're all adults. We all work and do shit. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't being petty or whatever. I'm not being too sad about it. It would be nice to go to a jam, but it is what it is. I will say, however, that if you're a fan of my stream on Twitch, I got something coming soon, guitar related. Y'all can see. We can see what's going on. That's all I can say. I'm not gonna say what it is. See, now I have to be good at guitar. I have to be good at guitar now. I have to be better than him at guitar now, because I'm not trying to be petty, but I do you know what it is to be called a nemesis, dude? Are you fucking kidding me right now? I have to be good at guitar. I gotta be better than him at that. Because if you can call me a nemesis, I have to live up to the name. Because there is no way I'm about to let this motherfucker call me his nemesis and be mediocre at guitar. Anyway, I go on. I can see y'all later. Bye. Y'all take it easy. I didn't run from when he came to me man and was like, hey, we need to talk and all that stuff. Or should I just pop a thing and catch up on my hands? That's funny. Look at this. That's definitely going in the blooper reel at the end of this video.